Oh, yeah, Kid Rock. That was funny. So he's had a big month in November. He opened up his new restaurant in downtown Nashville, which is actually named after him, Kid Rock's Honky Tonk Bar and Grill. But then...
That's racist. What the hell?
Hey.
That's racist, man, isn't it?
What, Honky Tonk?
Yeah, you just said the H word. See?
Sue me. So, with that, he was also supposed to be the Grand Marshal in their Christmas parade yesterday. But I suppose on Friday, he had made a comment about Joy Behar, which in turn sparked them to decide to take it away from him and give it to another gentleman who had stopped a shooting in a Waffle House or something. But
what did he say?
I'm not sure, actually. If I'm correct, he called her a bitch.
You did.
Ooh!
Nashville, Tennessee.
She is.
That gets you kicked off the parade.
Is, yeah. She's a nasty person.
A little rain didn't stop people from turning out for Nashville's 65th annual Christmas parade that happened Saturday. Despite a little controversy over the Grand Marshal, the parade was a success. But festivities aside, Kid Rock was on a lot of people's minds. Friday evening, parade organizers decided to boot him from being the Grand Marshal because partly he called Joe Behar a bitch on Fox and Friends.
You go, Kid Rock.
Here's the thing. He says it on a national show. What was he thinking?
Yeah, well, guess what? A bitch technically is not a bad word.
Well,
it's a female dog.
Exactly.
So Joey Behar, John Behar, whatever her name is.
Joy Behar.
Joy.
Is a female dog.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
I don't take offense to the word bitch.
Okay, well, he's a grown man. He knows what he should have said.
I know I am.
Well,
you a bitch.
So here, again, it's his quote. He's a grown man. He knows what he should have said on national television and what he shouldn't say, according to James Shaw Jr. Shaw Jr. replaced Kid Rock as the Grand Marshal, saying that it was a huge honor. Kid Rock reportedly watched the parade from his honky-tonk establishment that is on Broadway. Organizers wanted to honor him for stopping a mass shooting at a Waffle House in Antioch earlier that year. But here's the thing. So many people in Nashville love Kid Rock. Mm-hmm. I think the spirit of the parade was diminished today because of this.
Do you have the actual video of him saying it? Because I would love to know the contents behind
Fox
it.
and Friends. I'll look it up. I guarantee you. I'll find it. And then it says on Friday, Mayor David Briley, I believe that's how you pronounce it, said he wouldn't come to the parade if Kid Rock was the Grand Marshal anyway. But he says that's old news. Whatever controversy there was, we moved past it. People came out, enjoyed the parade, and got on their holiday spirits. On Friday, owners were threatening to sue the city if the parade organizers left Kid Rock as the Grand Marshal, and they wanted their $250,000 back.
What the fuck?
We wanted to make it about the parade in the city of Nashville. Christmas is a time about families and kids, and we want to give them in their full support. Okay, that's what it was all about today, according to attorney Brian Lewis. Kid Rock also posted a picture of him and his granddaughter on Instagram, trying to move away from the controversy. You know,
that's crazy, yeah.
What can you say? Let me see if I can find it.
Again, people,
I hate
they just
people.
get
I really do. I just hate people. You know, everybody nowadays gets offended. They boycott the most stupidest shit.
The real question, though, is was Joy Behar offended?
Oh, let's not talk about let's not talk about people from The View now, because they say the most obscure and the most entitling things because they think that they're above the law. You should see the shit that comes out of that fucking show. Don't even get me started. I love Whoopi Goldberg. I love Joy Behar and stuff, but the stuff that's said on the show, that show should have been pulled
They sound like
years
a bunch
ago.
of Chinese chickens because they overpower each other all the time. I cannot deal with it. Chinese chickens. They're all trying to talk at once, and this is ridiculous.
That's that Bare Naked Lady song, 1 week. Chinese chickens, chicken to China, the Chinese
If you want to hear what they sound like, listen to The
drumstick.
View.
And your brain stops ticking, watching X-Files with the lights on, and I lost it.
So let me see if
The thing with The View, though, is if you really watch it, none of them agree on the same thing. So it's...
Well, that's what makes the show popular.
Yeah, well...
But they say the most outrageous things, and some of the things
they
becomes
do.
very...
They say some of the most asinine shit, and it's like, oh, well, I'm right because this. And it's like...
What is that?
Nexium?
What's Nexium? Can we share that? What? What is
Acid
it?
reflux meds?
Oh, I have that here.
Yeah.
It's the rattler. My rattler.
Anyway, you were saying?
I have to take these.
Why? You don't have to take anything.
Oh.
You can let God heal you. Yeah. Or what's that?
Yeah, you can go up on the 3rd floor. Let that,
Yeah.
you know.
We all went to church today.
Did we ever?
I don't know what church that was, but my word.
Okay, so I let's see if we can listen on here. Here's the little clip it, if you will. Kid Rock live on Fox and Friends. Let's see.
People need to calm down, get a little less politically correct, and I would say, love everybody except, I'd say, screw that Joey Behar bitch. Everybody.
He should have been Grand Marshal just for saying that. Never mind.
Right?
Listen, she's just got a different point of view than you do.
Exactly. Hey, maybe we'll go on and I'll hash it out with her. We'll talk about it. But anyway, exactly. Aside from joking, which I was, is just go out and hash it out with people and have your thoughts and ideas, but be able to still go have a beer with somebody and just say, hey, we all love this country and let's have different ideas, but try to move forward and be more together and realize at the end of the day we're all Americans.
Listen to that. He says it. And he says that it's a joke, and then on top of that, he's like, "Let's get together, let's have a beer, let's hash it out." Come on now.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
People just grab hold of things. God.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Joy Behar is a comedian, correct?
Yes.
All right. She started as a stand-up comic. Yeah. Where the hell was her sense of humor? Oh my God! Someone just called me a bitch.
Did you say sense of humor?
Oh my God! Sense of humor, yes.
Oh, I thought you said hammer. I'm like,
no.
All right. Sense of hammer.
God, man.
People are just too damn sensitive
world that
nowadays.
we live in.
Nobody can take criticism.
I don't know how people are going to survive.
No.
Everything offends everybody. It's ridiculous.
And this is,
It's like when I watch football and all the refs make bad calls. That offends me. You know what? Especially against the Patriots. Stop throwing the goddamn yellow flag. Let me watch the game.
Right now, as a matter of fact, Miami is winning right now 14-6. Third quarter. Speaking of periods, no, that's not what I wanted to say. The Boston Celtics had a great game against who'd they play? Sorry.
Timberwolves? Did they play Timberwolves?
Minnesota, yeah. And, oh my God, Gordon Hayward. What a great game. Greatest game he's ever had in his career. That was a phenomenal game.
But back to Kid Rock. I mean, he says it like it is. Just treat everybody with respect, and you know what? Just live. I say live life like tomorrow's the last fucking day.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Don't hold grudges. Don't be mad all the time. Don't be miserable because it's just a waste of energy. I know shit sometimes in life just sucks. Just bite the bullet. It'll eventually get better. It may take a while, but I mean, and that's when alcohol comes in.
That's where, and this is the reason why alcohol was.
And that's why Kid Rock says, "Have a beer, man." See, just have a beer.
Everybody needs to understand. Everybody's going to have an opinion, and it's not going to be the same as yours. And once everybody realizes that and just chills out,
no. I mean, I guarantee
You
this.
agree to disagree.
I guarantee that we have listeners to this show that agree with one of us and can't stand this person and can't do this. And
I fucking disagree with you what you just said.
I see. You offended me. Every time you look at me, you offend me.
Yeah, me too. I'm
Stop looking at me.
I'm pulling the Me Too movement. Don't look at me. I'm offended. You're like undressing me with your eyes.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Speaking of not gonna do it, what his famous words.
Mr. Bush.
Mr. Bush,
Yeah.
George Sr., George H.W. Bush was the definition of an establishment success. He was a Yale graduate, prosperous business career, a 41st president of the United States, but his biggest thing that he said that he ever achieved was being married to Barbara, which is great. And it says, as a result of him being a one-term president, historians hadn't paid much attention to him. George W. Bush told NPR in a 2014 interview, he called his father one of the greatest one-term presidents in nation's history. George Herbert Walker Bush died Friday at the age of 94. 94 years old. 94.
He lived a long life.
Yeah.
It's a long
He's
life.
he's been sick since Barbara died, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
like
was
really sick.
at the funeral. If you guys saw the funeral, you could tell he was really.
Well, he spent 3 weeks in the hospital with an infection,
Right.
and then he was back in May, June, and July. I think they
believe so.
said.
I mean, he's 94. He's an old guy. But when your wife dies, that you've been with for what were they married 60-something years?
Yeah, something like that, yep.
I mean, there is that broken heart syndrome. That your significant other that you've done everything with your whole life, and all of a sudden snuffed out.
Living in Maine must have had something to do with it. If you really think about it, they have a beautiful compound out there. What's that? What'd you do?
Lobsters.
That's why he lived to
Might be
94,
maybe.
baby. He ate
Maybe.
a lot of lobsters, man.
George W. Bush, obviously the son, released a statement saying for himself and on behalf of the other siblings, Jeb, Neil, Marvin, Doro, they're saddened to announce that after 94 remarkable years, our dear dad has died. George H.W. Bush was a man of
Just came up on the screen. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. A man of highest character and the best dad a son or daughter could ever ask for. The entire Bush family is deeply grateful for 41's life and love, the compassion of those who cared and prayed for our dad, and the condolences of our friends and fellow citizens. There were fears after his wife Barbara died in April, Bush might have died from broken heart syndrome.
Yes.
He was admitted to the hospital with a blood infection on April 23rd, Aaron, one day after his funeral for the former First Lady, and renamed there for 13 days. He also spent time in the hospital in the month of May and June. But he lived to be the first former president to reach the age of 94. Bush was the patriarch of political dynasty that included one son who served as president, another as governor, and a grandson who currently holds statewide office in Texas. George H.W. Bush, at the age of 94.
Rest in peace, fine sir.
Read my lips.
What? No new taxes.
No new taxes. Well, there was, again, you know what? We've had presidents on both sides.
Yeah.
Who do you think is, who would you say is the greatest president of all time?
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. Kim, what do you think?
I have a tie between Kennedy and Reagan.
Okay,
Actually, yeah.
I'd have to say John F. Kennedy. Aaron, George Clooney is not part of this. Okay, just want to let you point that out. Okay, U.S. president. Just I don't know. Do you know any of the U.S.
Yes, I
presidents?
know
Okay,
the
just,
U.S.
Hey,
presidents.
okay.
Thank you.
Would you like me to list them off?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't need you to list
A
them.
lot of people say George Washington was the greatest president.
Well, here's the thing. We've had many great presidents. George Washington, one of the greatest military leaders of all time.
Yeah.
Declaration of Independence, the War of 1812. We can go on and on and on. But you know what? He had his dark side too. He was doing, black female slaves, and
they were all doing that.
okay
back in
and
the
stuff.
day.
But see, that's
here's
the thing.
Bill
is
Clinton.
You hear the good stuff. But you don't necessarily hear.
You don't hear about the other side. Exactly.
other side.
Bill Clinton, I think he was a wonderful president. We had one of the best economies ever, but he was a fucking slut bag. Same thing, John F. Kennedy, one of the greatest presidents ever, telling Cuba, "You're gonna cross those waters, motherfucker. I'm gonna blow the shit out of you." Okay, he was a very stand-up guy. But the fucking guy, he was married to one of the most beautiful women in the world, Jackie Onassis. But he was doing Marilyn Monroe. He had chicks all over the White House, and come on. I mean, every person. I mean, we've had so many great presidents. Yeah. Abraham Lincoln, another guy. He loved his women as well. Come on now.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't matter who you are.
What was her name? Sally Field. Wasn't he married to Sally Field?
Who?
Abraham Lincoln. I saw the movie, man. She was a crazy bitch.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Speaking of common sense. Oh, I love how the way this show turned out. Our phone number is 603-217-54.